Nursing 38051C. As evidence-based practice became known, an agency for healthcare research and quality was established, and it gave us strategies for implementing evidence-based practice. And these strategies are listed here for you to read. When you get a chance, read them through. But many of them are very, very important. First of all, it talked about access to the extent to which your practice is evidence-based. So you want to make that assessment. Do you have that? Secondly, review of literature that provides evidence to strengthen your belief that evidence-based results is better. And then it goes on to talk about determine whether or not other colleagues in your practice have any idea of the same interest as you have, maybe something that you can find out. And then conduct a search for research studies or systematic reviews to determine if their clinical question can be answered as well. Critique journals. Develop a practice guidelines using the best practice evidence. Establish measurable outcomes that you can go by. Implement practice guidelines, and then evaluate the effectiveness of the practice guidelines and develop a mechanism to routinely disseminate your findings. So the Agency for Healthcare and Quality is certainly important because research in nursing is very important if we want to move ahead. It builds knowledge about the human responses to health problems, their reactions and concerns. It also gives a nursing perspective, therefore views clients as a whole person and implies 24-hour care. It distinguishes properties of nursing research that we need to know about. Our final focus is to improve client care, contributes to development of theory and the body of scientific knowledge. A research problem then becomes a nursing problem, where nurses have access to and control over the phenomena being studied. So all nurses share a commitment to the advancement of nursing science. Of course, that depends on their level of education, but certainly a BSN can contribute. Nurses in clinical practice can identify the problems in need of investigation, support the research process, assist with data collection and analysis, and like I said, a bachelor's is required. Historically, Florence Nightingale demonstrated the importance of research in nursing care, and then later on, Isabel Stewart integrated research into the graduate nursing curriculum, published the first research journal in nursing, which is called the Nursing Education Bulletin in the late 1920s, and publication of many research journals today are in publication. So the role transition of an ADN to a BSN has several focuses. There's a focus on foundational knowledge related to professional nursing, such as history, theory, ethics, and legal aspects. There's an overview of professional nursing roles and issues and changes in the profession, and discusses our healthcare providers, are they as learners and teachers and leaders. There's also societal issues that we have to look at. There's an aging population. There's reimbursement practices. There's more care delivered in community today and outpatient settings. Our populations are diverse, and our technology and scientific discoveries are immense. There are new diseases and environmental problems. There's changes in perception of nursing as a profession. There are both roles for men and women, and they're looked upon individually. There's increased accountability and responsibility. Unfortunately, the average age of the RN has also increased from 44 to 45 years. So the changes in perception of nursing as a profession is also being looked at. It's looked at entry into practice. There's a shift from acute care into the community, and baccalaureate requirements for certification is also being required in many areas. The AACN 1996 has a position statement regarding that issue. Other professional factors is that nurses specialize in special areas of practice, and there's an increased demand for specialty certification. There's changes in nursing roles. These changes in nursing roles represents a shift in the view of nursing from occupation to that of profession. That is transition from novice to that of an expert. And Bridges has a model that sort of guides us through. There are three phases he talks about: ending, neutral, and the new beginnings, where individuals move through all three phases as they experience change. The ending phase talks about is our initial stage. It's a must let go area Within these ending phases, there are four components. One where there's disengagement. You have to disengage from your initial state, your additional, your frame of mind. Then a misidentification is where you're going to no longer identify with what you were. You become disenchanted and then a little bit disoriented. A new beginning is sort of like your final page. It's where there's acceptance of new knowledge and values and attitudes and behaviors about your role. You'll be challenged to keep moving forward and not ever to revert back to your old roles. Then you have a neutral zone, where the individual has moved from the old to the new, change is accepted, and the new role, not yet internalized in relationships and behavior, but it's getting